What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Busy Life Podcast. My name is Julie, and I'll be your host today. And today we are talking about stress management. Emphasis on my massive exhale because life right now for me is extremely stressful. I've mentioned this in basically every other episode before this. My wedding is in almost 2 weeks. So I can't even fathom just literally anything else at this point in time. My brain just goes a mile a minute. I've noticed that I'm really unavailable to everybody else's problems. So sorry, but I just can't. And it's like little things have been triggering me, pissing me off. Things that normally don't make me mad are making me mad. And I know that I'm not the only one going through this, which was a lot about what I talked about last week on the podcast. And knowing that even though you may not be going through a wedding right now, I'm sure you're going through your own version of something, or you have been, or you will. I mean, nothing in life is ever meant to be perfect. And we are not meant to ever fit into this box. So there's going to be things that stress you out, and there's going to be things that come up in life that you are either not used to handling, you don't know how to handle it, or you're tired of handling it. There's going to be things that happen, and you're going to have to deal with them. So here's the magic question. What are you going to do about it? Are you just going to sit there and take it? Are you going to actually do something about it and stop the complaining? Because I guarantee you, people are not going to be a part of the stress train for too long. I know that you've got great friends and great family members that are willing to listen to you vent and willing to hear you talk about what's going on in your life. But think about it. My therapist always calls those people who are constantly complaining battery drainers, because they are. I know some in my life as well. And I know that they're those kinds of people who every time I get a text from them or I get a call from them, I'm like, so-and-so texts me again. And, Ryan will say to me sometimes, why are you talking to them? Why? I don't know. I'm just trying to be nice. But do you have to talk to them right now? Is it really important? I guess not. Right? Do we have to let these people in? Do we have to let these problems in? Some of them we do. For example, I found out that I am allergic to my dogs. And that was the most heartbreaking news that you could have told me, because I love my dogs. They're my babies. And it's not mild. It's like pretty uncomfortable, and it sucks. So I've been back and forth to the allergist multiple times. Guys, they pricked my back. They got like 100 and something of those little things. And she's just like all down my back. She was like, okay, ready, set. And I was like, oh, okay. If you've ever had that done, it's really not that bad, but it just kind of sucks for like those 2 minutes. I went and I had that done, and it all came back negative. And I was like, that's amazing. I'm not allergic to anything. Oh my God. Because I've been breaking out into hives recently, and there was the debate of, is it stress or is it an allergy? But they itch like crazy. When I was in Mexico is when it actually really started, and I had blood work taken to make sure that everything was fine. And they were like, well, your numbers are okay. So they're normal. Let's do an allergy test. I was like, okay, cool. Did the back skin test. Nothing. It's like, oh my God, this is amazing. It'll just pass. It'll go by. It's just stress from the wedding. It's not. I went back, to talk about it. They're like, yeah, nothing happened. It's no big deal. But wait a minute. Are you on anxiety medication? I was like, yeah, why? They're like, oh, I think it kind of counteracted our skin test. I'm so sorry. The test is invalid. So I just got my back pricked for nothing. for nothing. It sucked so bad. I was like, are you kidding me? I took off work for this. I'm trying to find out what's going on. And all of a sudden, it doesn't work anymore. And it's no big deal. I was like, listen, this is a big deal to me because I've been waiting to find out what's going on. And you just told me that this shit is invalid. Hence, now I'm more stressed. I'm annoyed. I'm stressed. I'm laughing at myself because this is just insane. So, how did you get to the dog dander? And this is obviously not the point of the episode, but I have to just tell you guys the story. It ended up being the dog dander because she was like, look, let's do a blood test. Like, no anxiety medication is going to mess with that. So let's figure it out. It's my dogs. I thought it was dairy. I thought it was pollen. I don't know. I thought it was anything. Not my doggies. So that sucked. And I cried. I cried because I was just like, are you kidding me? After dealing with all the wedding stress and dealing with, just the little stuff that happens, maybe it's been a bad day at work and my students were really pissing me off or whatever. I now am allergic to my dogs. So not only did I have to come home and like deep clean my condo, and my condo is not very big, but when you're deep cleaning, it feels like it's fucking huge. You're like, oh my God, how did this get dirty? Oh my God, why is there dog hair over here? Holy shit, there's a fuck ton of dust over there. Like, why is it so dirty? Are we really that disgusting? Like, what the hell? So to say that I've been stressed is an understatement. And specifically recently, meaning the past few weeks. And I just can't stand complainers. I really can't. I don't like it when people come up to me and they're like, oh my God, Julie, something, this is this bothering me. Oh, I gotta lose weight, but I don't want to do it this way. And I really want to be eating better, but I just like to go out and order food or I don't want to hear it. Unless you are proactively doing something about it. I personally don't want to hear it. I'm all ears for a good venting session. I totally understand that sometimes you are doing absolutely everything you can do and you're just exhausted, or that sometimes there isn't anything you can do, or that you don't know what to do. I'm here to help. I am. But you know what I'm talking about, and you know who I'm talking about. There are those people that just, it doesn't matter. You could say to them, hey, I think you should try going for a walk every day. And they'll be like, I just want to lose weight. Yeah, I know, I hear you. It's really hard and it's really frustrating. I think you should try going for a walk every day. I just want to lose weight. It doesn't matter. They don't hear you. They don't care. They're not interested. Go listen to my episode last week about feeling like you're just not being heard or not being seen. That's in that. But that's not an example where it really, really matters. That's just a way for me to explain those kinds of people. So I don't like to be that kind of a person. Even when I do have a lot of things going on, I don't want to be associated as somebody who just bitches and complains, because that's just not who I want to be. I want to be somebody who's proactive. I want to be somebody who finds the answers. And I want to be somebody who helps people. My passion in life and the reason behind this podcast is that I want to help people realize that life is hard, but you cannot get in the way of it. You are not going to be the reason that it doesn't go the way you want it to go. There's going to be things thrown at you. There's going to be curveballs. There's going to be unexpected endings that you had no idea about. But that's to be expected. You need to find a way to take what you have and do something with it. You can definitely cry, and you can definitely complain, and you can definitely be upset and frustrated and vent as much as you need to. But you also can't just sit there. I understand there is a grace period, especially when you've gone through a lot of things in life, where getting up and doing something is way harder than it seems. I get that. I've been there. And I'm not going to pretend like it's an easy spot to be in or that getting up and moving on is just this, yep, I got it thing, because it's not. So I respect every single one of you who is going through something like that or who has gone through something like that. But I do want you to realize that you do have that strength inside of you. And you do deserve to get up in the morning and live the life you want to live. So I want to help you. And today's episode is all about stress management because I know that we all have gone through it. I know that we all have been through hell and back in any way, shape, and form. You probably know exactly what I'm talking about because the minute I said that, it came to your mind. We've been there, and it's okay. So I want to give you some tips, and I'm going to go through them step by step. I'm going to dissect them as best as I can, and I just want you to breathe with me. I want you to know that it's going to be okay. I want you to know that I'm here for you, that I believe in you, and there's many other people out there that believe in you too. Part of stress management comes from feeling overwhelmed and feeling alone. You're not alone. You're really not. I know what that feels like as well. And that's why I feel that it's important that I speak on this topic because I have been through all these things that I'm going to tell you guys. So I've lived it firsthand experience. I know what it feels like to be alone. But I want you to think about somebody right now. If you were given a phone and they told you you can make one call, it only works for one call, who would you call? And now I'm going to ask you, why would you call them? You're not alone. Now, if you honestly didn't have an answer to that, I'm sorry. Because I don't want you to live in a world where you don't feel like you have somebody. Now, if you didn't have an answer because you were like, I have no idea, I could pick a couple different people, that's fine too. But if you genuinely don't feel like you have somebody, please reach out to people. Part of connection comes from your side as well. Not everybody is expected to reach out to you. You do also have to reach out. And that's a whole other topic for a whole other episode. But I do want you to realize that you are not alone. And even if you don't know anybody who's been through what you've been through, Google it. I am sure that there are thousands of people out there who have been through what you have been through. Maybe not the exact same scenario, but something similar. That is where I get my topics from. I find similar ground that we can all relate to. And I try to give you guys those tools and you can adapt them and use them in ways that work for you because we're not alone. We all go through stress and crazy shit and frustrating stuff and things that make us cry at night and things that make us want to throw a dumbbell at the wall. We all go through it. Just know that you're not alone. And it's okay to be frustrated, but it's not okay to live in that space. Mel Robbins talked about on her actually on her last podcast episode. I am a hardcore Mel Robbins fan. I listen to her all the time. She talked about how it's okay to be comfortable if that's what you want, but it's not okay to be small. And that's because we don't deserve to live a life where we're small. And stress makes you feel small. And like I said, you're going to have moments where you feel small. You're going to have moments where it doesn't feel like it's working and it doesn't feel like the grass is greener over here because it's got to be greener over there. It is greener on the other side and it is better over there. My side sucks and this sucks and this sucks and that sucks. Live there for like a little bit, please. And then move. Pick up your shit and move. because that's not a life we want to be living in. You really don't. So I'm going to get into some of these tips that work for me. I created a list of things that work for me, as well as, you guys know I love the research. I always do a lot of digging before my episodes, and I pull together different things, and I will credit them all in my caption, and I credit them in the video as well. I put together a list of all the things that work for me from the research because I know it will work for you. Maybe not all the things, but I know you'll be able to find something that will work. So here's my list. And I think I'm going to go through it by list, like who says what. And then I want you guys just to take from it whatever works for you. My things are, number one, going for a walk. I love walking. I believe that walking cures everything. Going for a great walk is just, it's so therapeutic, especially on a beautiful sunny day. And honestly, I will even go out in the rain. I'll grab an umbrella and I'll put my rain boots on and I'll go for a walk. Moving your body, specifically walking because it's a low stress exercise, is great for you. When you're already stressed, your cortisol levels and your hormones are already all fucked up. So don't do something that's going to make you feel 10 times worse. Again, every body is different and everyone is different. So maybe for you, it is to go to the gym and lift those heavy weights. And sometimes that is for me too. It actually is for me a lot of the times. But when you're like I'm talking level 10 out of 10 stressed, just go for a walk. Just move. Move your body so that it takes your mind off of whatever it is that you're thinking about. Move your body. The second thing I do is I like to take deep breaths, and like actual deep breaths. I'm not talking just like a that was really short. I'm talking like a long in for 4 to 5 seconds, hold for 4 to 5 seconds, and out for like 7 to 8 seconds. So let's try that one together. Hold it and out. And then I repeat that. I know in the moment you're like, okay, now what? I try to get my students to do it, and they look at me like, Miss Nicholas, it didn't work. And I'm like, we're not done. Do it a couple times. My other thing is, don't do it in like the middle of a really crazy space unless you have, no other choice. Like maybe you're driving and you're really stressed. Obviously, you can't just get out of the car and do it. But try this in the morning when you just wake up. Your room should really just be, I heard this somewhere, your room should really just be for sleeping and for sex. It is not meant to be a workspace. It's not meant to be a workout space. Again, I totally understand that sometimes you don't have any other space, so I get that. But I don't want you to associate your room with stress. I want you to try to think of it this way. When I wake up in the morning, I'm going to take some deep breaths. Or when I go to bed, I'm going to take deep breaths. I actually find that I like doing it more at night because it helps relax my mind and get me ready to go to sleep. Whereas sometimes I do it in the morning and I want to go back to sleep. So find a time of day that works for you. When I do my deep breaths in the morning, I have to go into my study and, I open all the blinds, I let the light in, I sit in a comfortable position, and I just take my deep breaths. And it really helps. It helps clear the air in your mind, and it clears the space and frees you. It gives your mind and body just space to do what it needs. So walking is my favorite thing in the world. Taking nice, long, deep breaths. And I'm a big believer in talk therapy. Whether it is with a licensed therapist, if you're able to do that, or just a good friend. Remember we said that phone call, who are you going to call? Ghostbusters. No. Call your mom, your dad, your sister, your brother, your cousin, your friend, your aunt, your uncle, your grandma, your grandpa. You've got somebody. And if you don't, remember what I said. I want you to find somebody. Now don't go off the street and just be like, hey, do you have stress problems too? Are you also stressed? Me too. They might respond. But no. Talk to somebody. Talk about what's going on. Shit, talk to yourself. I do that. I'm that weirdo in the car driving to work, and sometimes I'll just turn the music off because I know I've got a shit ton on my mind, and I just talk. I'm like, oh my God, okay. So today I have to write 4 IEPs. I need to make sure that they get done by, what was the date? Oh yeah, June 13th. Ooh, and then I need to make sure that when I get home, I give Duke his medicine. Yeah, it's really frustrating. I'm really tired of giving him all this medicine. He always needs medicine. Just talk to yourself. It's okay. Nobody actually gives a shit. And if they do, fuck them. Who cares? Talk to somebody. And if that somebody has to be you, there is no judgment. So those are my 3 things. I honestly could go on about more, but a lot of what I'm about to read to you now is pretty similar. So my 3 favorite things are walking, deep breaths, and talking it out. If you don't like talking, I also recommend writing. I enjoy a good writing session as well. So I'm going to go with, let me see, I'm just checking the time. Okay. I'm going to go with what the Mayo Clinic says. So Mayo Clinic has an article called 5 Tips to Manage Your Stress. Not perfect. And their 5, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. It looks like 6, guys, because that's where my brain is at. The stress takes over everything. Another thing, have a good laugh. Don't be afraid to laugh at yourself, and don't take life too seriously. So those are my, I just made it 5 things. It's walking, deep breathing, talking it out, writing things down, and having a good laugh. Those are my 5, and I'm going to leave it there. You guys can clearly tell that these episodes are not scripted because I just pick up the mic and I start talking. Here, a great example of me talking to myself. So the Mayo Clinic says that their top 5 stress management strategies are: number 1, use guided meditation. Number 2, practice deep breathing. Hey, same. Ooh, I like this one. Number 3, maintain physical exercise and good nutrition. I could not agree more. Could not agree more. I am fully behind the fact that if you don't take care of your body and your life, if you don't take care of your body, meaning the physical appearance, the mental part of it, like the physical, emotional, all of that, social, every aspect of your body, you will suffer. And I know it's not an easy thing to do. It's definitely a balancing act. It's definitely something that takes time, but a great place to start is with exercise and nutrition. And I'm not saying to all of a sudden start meal prepping and working out 7 days a week, 7 days a week if you've never done it before. I'm just saying start somewhere. Maybe that means you go for a walk. Hashtag everybody should be walking. Maybe you have a smoothie now every morning instead of a heavier, greasier breakfast sandwich. Maybe it means that you're now incorporating a vegetable with lunch. Start somewhere, because I guarantee you, when you take care of your physical body in ways like exercise and nutrition can, you will reap the benefits. So I believe in that one. Number 4, manage social media time. Hell yes. Social media is honestly so toxic sometimes. I would like to say it's fucked, but it's not. I do love social media. Social media is what makes this podcast a thing. So I'm definitely not totally downing social media. But come on, guys, let's be real. There is a lot of stress and triggers on social media. And I know everybody uses that word triggers, but I'm serious. Tell me you don't see a picture of somebody on social media and immediately start thinking about, what are they doing to look that way? What is she eating to look that way? Oh my God, how did they do that? Oh, what can I do to do that too? They do that shit to you on purpose. They want you to. They want you to see these pictures and they want you to feel a certain way because that is how some of these companies get your money. Make sure you are following people who genuinely see the best in you or who are genuine role models. I sometimes like to do like a social media cleanse. And not what you're thinking. Like I don't neglect social media because I do really like social media. I love making reels. Those just make my day. I think I am hilarious. I love doing my reels. And I love connecting with people. I have so many friends on Instagram that I wouldn't be able to talk to if it wasn't for social media. So what I mean by cleanse is I go through, who do I follow? Do I actually like what you're posting? Do I feel comfortable when I go to your page? Do I feel like I'm going to look at your pictures and immediately start doubting myself? Because if I start to feel any of those negative emotions, I'm really sorry, but I have to unfollow you. It's not good for me. Don't be afraid to do that too. And you might hurt somebody's feelings, but fuck it. You're responsible for your own feelings. I've actually had to unfollow a few friends, like real life friends, not, and I'm not saying my social media friends aren't real life friends, but people I know in person who I've known for a long time, I've had to unfollow them. Oh well, I don't think about it anymore. I've created a safe space on my Instagram and Facebook. I don't use Twitter anymore. Not for anything in particular, just kind of got bored of it. But it's customed to me now. I follow people who I believe in, they believe in me. We have shared a lot of things are shared. We believe in the same things, we appreciate each other, we cheer on each other. I don't feel uncomfortable when I see their pictures. I don't get mad when I see a picture of them. I'm like, oh, I just want that too. Cleanse your social media, guys. It's not a bad thing at all. And honestly, I wouldn't even be offended if you needed to unfollow me for some reason. If there's anything about my page that made you feel uncomfortable or unwelcomed or triggered in any way, shape, or form, it's okay. You do what you got to do. So I definitely agree with this one. Take some time to manage your social media time. And that doesn't necessarily mean more or less of it. I mean, I definitely don't think that you should live with your phone because that can 110% make you feel more stressed. But I do think it's important to watch what you're doing on social media and who you're talking to, who you're following. Sometimes I notice the explore page is where I get the most triggered because Instagram will pop up with things that it thinks I want to see. And I'm like, nope. So just be smart when you use social media, guys. I'm also in no way, shape, or form, I'm going to say this again, no way, shape, or form doubting or putting the, F minus sign on Instagram or TikTok or any of them. I love social media. I just think you have to be smart when you use it. Okay? So that was number 4. And then number 5 is connect with others. See, I told you you're not alone. Connection is important. You need to make sure that you are surrounded by people that fill up your cup, especially when it's empty. And in the last episode, we talked about you have the ability to also decide who gets some of the liquid in your cup. Maybe this person just gets a little bit. Maybe this person doesn't get any. And then you know what? Maybe this person gets a lot because they appreciate you. They pour into your cup from their cup and they deserve it. Connect with other people and be smart about it. Now, don't reach out to that person who stresses you out because you're just trying to be nice and respond to them. Not those connections. I'm talking connections that make you feel fulfilled. Connections that revive you. Connections that make you as Kelsey Wells says, remember who the fuck you are. That's the life we want to live. And we can't let stress get in the way of that, because it's going to. And like we said, that's part of life. But what are you going to do about it? We're not going to live in that place of feeling small for too long. We are going to find ways to manage our stress and to understand it. Where is it coming from? What is causing me to feel this way? And what can I do about it? God, I need that on a t-shirt. I need that on a shirt. Maybe I'll make t-shirts for this podcast. But seriously, guys, I want you to find a way to not let stress control your life. It's your life. I do want you to take some time to figure out, too, what is stressing you out. And then think about why. There's so much to talk about when it comes to stress. But I just want you to know that it's going to be okay. I'm here for you. I am. I will not judge you. I want to be a safe space for you. I am here for you. And I want you to remember that you fucking got this. Yeah, maybe you're like me. You just found out you're allergic to your dogs and your wedding's coming up and da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, we all have a da-da-da-da-da part 2. Okay, let's move on. Let's seize the day and let's do something so we don't live in this space for forever. Okay? I love you guys so much that I'm ready to announce another surprise. These episodes have been 100% filling my cup. I love coming on here. I love talking to you guys. And I am going to now offer live coaching. So I am in the middle now of, actually just beginning to get my life coaching certification. And I would love to have you guys either volunteer to come on here, or I will make a sign-up sheet. We're going to see how it goes. But come on here, do a live episode with me where I will coach you. Again, it's totally unscripted. That is how this podcast works. It comes from the heart. It's coming from some of the research that we've got. And we're going to help you. We're going to figure out what you need, how we can help you, and we're going to go from there. So more details about that are coming, but that is just one of my big surprises coming out soon. I also have so many more amazing guests coming on where they've got a topic that we're going to talk about, and we're going to deep dive into that together, and they're going to give you some of their amazing tools that they've learned. I'm just so excited. Speaking of stress, this does not stress me out. This podcast is one of my stress managers. It is, you guys are my why. This is like my baby in my life. And I am just so damn thankful for every single one of you who has either given me 5 stars, shared the podcast to somebody else, talked about it on social media, whatever it is that you've done, commented on it, texted me about it, called me about it. Thank you so much. This is just, I don't even have the words. I'm just so damn thankful. And that's why I believe that we are not meant to live in a world where stress takes us over. We need to take control back of our life. And I believe in you. So I hope you guys have an amazing day. And remember, you got this. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you next time.